always want to think in terms of passive food collection, things that we can set and then go do some other task, so that we're not having to sit there and man a fishing pole, because that ties you down to one spot. So one thing John and I both like to carry are these little yo-yos. They have a device which, when pulled, they start the retraction process and it sets the hook and holds the fish there for you until you can get back. As with any trapping, you have to remember this is a numbers game. You don't just set 1 or 2 of these things. I would say carry no less than 6 in your ruck, and I generally try to split my food procurement efforts up, 50% on the land and 50% in the water. So gill nets, bottle traps for minnows and things like that, and then snares and deadfalls and other things on the land. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, yo-yos are really convenient due to the fact that they can make a manual operation automatically, pretty much. You know, like Alan said, you can set it and forget it. You know, they're pretty flawless and they're pretty hard to break also. So, and you'll never have to worry about these expiring or breaking pretty much if they're in your bag for 5 or 6 years. They're still going to be good to go. You know, along with your yo reels, you want to make sure that you have a decent assortment of hooks of different sizes. Yep. Along with some weights, some bobbers, anything else you'd throw in.
Yeah, you want as many options as possible, because you're not sure what body of water you're going to be on, what time of year, what type of fish you're going to be after. So the ability to have the floats and be higher in the water or be on the bottom is important, I think. And obviously bait usually is natural. Now we can do this through primitive means. We can do notched methods and have a stick that will retract, but that's a time burn. And what's awesome about these, for the weight that they represent in your ruck, you can just set them up pretty quickly without having to stop and do all the primitive stuff, which takes lots more time.
So when you find yourself on a shore like we are right now, how far out will you usually space your yo-yo reels?
It's situationally dependent.
I mean, I know you're always looking for little areas here and there, but how far out usually?
I'm looking for habitat. Like we've got 2 here fairly close because we've seen fish here. This looks like a sweet spot. I'm looking for habitat. I'm looking for structure in the water. Obviously, if you see fish, that's your first indicator. Just kind of sit and observe for a while. Is there any movement going on? And if one spot day after day tends to not produce after you've let it go through the 24-hour cycle several times, it might be good to go ahead and lift and set those in a new place if they're not productive.
When do you usually like to set your reels? Like in the morning?
I get them out as soon as I can, because you never know when a fish might come by. Obviously fish feed at different times, but the quicker you can get them out, the better. And check them at regular intervals to make sure that you still have some bait on there.
What would you say regular interval is?
Every couple hours, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. And you know, what we have set up here is I have a third one here that I was just trying to do some hand fishing with. We got one set up on a small stick here in pretty shallow water. And then we got one longer log heading out into a little bit deeper. This, where we are on this lake, it tapers off here after about 4 or 5 feet. It really starts to dive down. So this one's probably 4 or 5 feet deeper. Yeah. Probably somewhere around there than the short one is. And you know, and like Alan said, we're just playing the odds here, you know. Shallow or deep, as long as they're swimming along this bank, we're hoping that one of them will hit.
Yeah, and we've actually set this up here at a time of day when the fish usually are not very active. But just for demonstration purposes, I don't expect anything to hit this probably until late afternoon, based on what I've seen.
All right, so let's take a look at exactly, you know, what we have set up here.
In addition to getting our catch and rebaiting hooks, another reason that we want to frequently check our lines, sometimes you can see here something has hit the hook and it's retracted with such force that it's wrapped the line back around the top of the pole. The bait's still attached, So all we need to do is drop it back in the water, but it's not going to catch any fish in that condition. So we do want to check these things at regular intervals. Yep.
So, all right, so as we were just about to set our third one here,
yeah,
one of the ones that we had set out in just shallow water, caught ourselves a tasty little supper here. So
yeah, and I mean that guy right there is not a trophy, but you'd be surprised what this, in conjunction with a few plants, some earthworms and other things, just getting something into the stomach to keep you going can be a game changer.
And some good protein too. I mean, it's going to be hard to find elsewhere. So guys, we're just here to show you that, yo-yo reels are a very effective way of catching fish,
So do you want to send this to the taxidermist, or do you want to eat it?
Ooh, I say we send it back and tell the people it was a lot bigger.
Yeah. Or maybe have it mounted in front of a bigger fish that's about to eat this fish.
As long as they don't watch this video, 12-pounder.
Yep. If you hold it, I'm told on fishing,
yeah,
you're supposed to hold it like
it's all about depth.
way out in front like that, and then it looks bigger.
Yeah.
Does that work?
It worked.
Okay.
It worked, yeah.
Awesome.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions with regards to using yo-yo reels to fish, feel free to leave them below. And until next time, be safe.